This is SJ Talks and Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. When Sade Robinson was unalived, black men kept by a white man. Black men kept talking about how when white, how they made it turn it into a big discussion about black women getting involved with white men, and this is what happened, and everything to prove their point about black women dating outside the race. And even when I posted the video on it, they came for me, and I had to go back and forth with quite a few of them on there about them talking about black women dating white men and this and that and the other. This turned it into a big discussion. Well, black men do it too. Black men do it too. I think a YouTuber by the name of Cerebral Talks. I thank her and appreciate her because in her recent video she pointed that out. She pointed that out that Justin Williams in Harlem was accused of chopping up, unaliving his girlfriend, De'Asia Johnson, 22. I'll read the article. A man suspected of chopping up his ex-girlfriend with a meat cleaver, then stashing her body parts in luggage. Brooklyn lived with her dismembered corpse for a month, authorities said Monday. Justin Williams, 24, Harlem, used towels, cleaning products to mask the smell coming from 2 suitcases at the home of his slain ex, De'Asia Johnson, 22. Prosecutors said the new court papers. He also left all the windows open in the apartment. Williams was indicted and charged Monday with the murder and concealment of a human corpse wrapped in grisly slaying of Johnson, 22, whose remains were discovered by cops conducting a wellness check at her Cypress Hills apartment. I think I vaguely remember hearing about this. He was held without bail, arraignment in Brooklyn court. Williams stabbed Johnson 9 times, knifing her 5 times in front of her torso and 4 times in her back, authorities said. Then he dismembered her body and stuffed her in a suitcase, the Brooklyn attorney said. Yep. And here's a picture of him right now, right here. So black men do it too. Black men have been doing it. Like I said, black men unalive black women at a much higher rate. So I don't want to hear black men keep coming talking about, oh, well, see, when black men date out, when black men date or black women date, excuse me, I'm just waking up, so I'm a little disoriented. When black women date white men, this is what happens to prove their point about black women, their double standard that they want to have about black women dating outside the race. Black men do the same thing, and they do it at a much higher rate, as this case right here. So don't act like white men are the only ones that's dismembering black women, doing horrific things to black women, because black men are doing the same thing. I think I vaguely remember hearing about this case. There's so many black femicide cases that, and I don't watch the news a whole lot because it's so depressing. And there's so many black femicide cases, it's hard to keep up with them all. I think I vaguely remember hearing about this. This was back in 2022. So I do think I vaguely remember hearing about this. But yes, black men do it too. They do it too. And they're unaliving black women at a much higher rate. So black men were silent, of course, about this case. They only make a big deal out of it because when it's a white man, so they can prove their agenda, so they can prove their point. and throw up in black women's face about black women dating outside the race because it's a double standard. It's okay for white or black men to date outside the race, but there's a problem when black women do it. So when a case comes up like when a white male does it, unalives a black woman in such a horrific manner, then they want to use that as a talking point to throw up in black women's face. See, y'all date outside the race and this is what happened, this and that and other. But black men are doing the same thing. And I don't see y'all having the same energy when the black man does it. When the black man does it, you don't have the same energy. You only have that energy when a white man does it. So that just goes to show you that at the end of the day, a lot of black men don't care about when a black man does it. They don't care. They only care. And then the only reason why they're saying something is because, like I said, it's to prove their point. It's to prove their little talking points, their little hypocritical talking points about white women or black women dating out versus black men dating outside the race. So you don't have that same energy when a black man does it. Here's a black man that has done the exact same thing. Unalived a black woman and he dismembered her. So I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear anymore about, well, that's what black women get when they date out or whatever the situation is. Because when it boils down to it, you guys that fix your mouth to say that, you hate black women. When you fix your mouth to say stuff like that, when you only have something to say when a white man does it, it all boils down to the fact that you just hate black women. You hate black women, and you don't care about what happens to black women. Because you only want to use it to prove a point. When a white man does it, you use that to prove your point. But when it comes down to it, you hate black women. Just come out and admit that you hate black women. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what race of the man is doing it. A black woman is unalived. She's unalived, and she was unalived in a very, very horrific way. And that's what matters. Whether it's a black man doing it, white man, or whatever, at the end of the day, a black woman was unalived, and she was unalived in a very horrific manner. And this black woman had loved ones, had family members that cared about her, that loved her. She had people there's a picture of her there. She had people that loved her and cared about her. Deasia Johnson is her name. I'm going to say her name, Deasia Johnson. And it's happened in New York, 2022, in Brooklyn, in a Brooklyn apartment building, by a black man, Justin Williams. So I don't want to hear about it no more. I don't want to hear about, oh, see, this what's happened when black women date white men and this and that and the other. I don't want to hear about it no more, because black men are doing the same thing. Have the same energy. Have the same energy for when a black man does it, then you guys are silent. So that this shows your hatred towards black women. Once again, I appreciate, thank you, Cerebral, your YouTuber by the name of Cerebral Talks, pointed that out and brought that to my attention. So I thought maybe I'd come on here and do a little something about it as well. So I appreciate her for pointing that out. All right, hit that like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, be blessed.